Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. So, if you're new here, I'm Liz. This is Korean Crime Time where I'm your host. And I sit down and I talk about a true crime case while I create something at the same time. And if you're interested and you want to stick around, I suggest you hit that red subscribe button wherever it is down here. I always point in the wrong area. Don't forget to turn your bell notification on all, and let's get into today's true crime case. Oh, and also take a sip of something. I will point out that I'm going to be using this as a create and destroy creative journal, and I found it at Target and I was like, what? I need this. And each page is literally something different. So, you open it and then you have your introductory page, so you draw stuff about yourself, and there's one, oh, where is it? It's really funny. It tells you to take your favorite sauce or something. Hopefully, oh, there it is. It's this smear page. So it literally says smear, and it's take ketchup, mustard, ranch, whatever's you love, and smear it all over the page. So I thought it was really cool. Yeah, you can find these at Target. They're by Piccadilly, and this was $8. I thought would be really fun to use, especially in a video, because it says to create and destroy it, and it's really cute. Yeah. Anywho, we're going to be talking about the case of Carol Rofstad. This is going to be another Midwest case. This happened in Normal, Illinois, back in 1975. So the anniversary of this case actually just passed right before Christmas. So she would be found on December 23rd, 1975, outside of her sorority house, outside of the Delta Zeta sorority house. She would be found unconscious, and unfortunately, she would succumb to her injuries the following day, so on Christmas Eve, 1975. So originally she's from Elk Grove, Illinois, and so I actually went and saw a podcast live, and the episode I saw was about Elk Grove, Illinois, so I found that very ironic that I found this case. And I've just gone to see that podcast talking about a case in Elk Grove, completely separate, not this one, but I just thought it was very oh my goodness, that's so, what are the odds, right? Well, so Carol was still at university for winter break. She was working at a little clothing boutique, and she was staying at school during her break. There was also 2 other girls staying in the house with her during this winter break. So the night of the 23rd, after she got off of work, she went out with a girlfriend for a drink. And on their way back, walking back to their homes, they separated. Not really is known about what happened between then and them finding her. But when officials asked her, her housemates, their sorority mates, if they saw anything unusual or heard anything unusual, and they said no. Which I find very strange. They didn't, nothing was out of the ordinary, nothing was unusual, especially where they would eventually find Carol outside. It's just, I don't know. So when they found Carol, she was unconscious, and it was determined she had been in the yard for about 12 hours. So her body had signs of frostbite, and she also had significant damage to her head because she had been beaten in the head. There was also a 18-inch railroad tie found near her body, which they think is what was used to beat her in the head. So after she was discovered, they rushed her to St. Francis Hospital, which is in Peoria, Illinois. They also couldn't determine whether or not she had been raped. The hospital did not conduct a rape kit because they were so focused on trying to save her that they felt it would be like crossing the line, if you will. Do you want me to save her, or do you want me to see if she was raped? So after they find Carol, and after she unfortunately dies due to her injuries, at Illinois State University, which is where Carol was a student, there is 3 fellow students that come forward with sexual assault claims that happened on campus, and they only came forward after Carol's death because they weren't terrified. But these cases have not been connected whatsoever. Like, these girls felt comfortable enough to go forward because of the possibility that Carol may have been raped, but they have unsuccessfully linked them together. There was also a witness that passed by the sorority house the night of the murder, and this witness said that they saw Carol and she had 2 men with her. She was bent over. This witness was able to help make a composite sketch of one of the men, and he had like sort of shaggier hair and a beard and a little bit bigger. He was taller. And then the other one was only a partial that he could make. He said that the first man was taller than the second one, but the first man, the composite sketch, he was a younger age range than the other man. So he was a good help when it came to the composite sketch, but like we know now, currently, this is still an unsolved murder case. Like, nothing has really come of the sketch that was made. So what's also good to know is that Carol, this isn't the first time she was attacked. She was attacked on July 16th of 1974. She was attacked in the Delta Zeta sorority house. So around 3 a.m., an intruder cut the phone lines to the house. It broke in. And when Carol woke due to noise, when she woke up, this intruder had his hands around her neck. So she screamed. He then picked her up and threw her against her dresser, and the impact was so hard that it broke her nose. Like, it's also unclear whether or not the police have actually linked these 2 attacks together. I will say, I do kind of have a timeline of things that have happened since. So in 1977, the police arrest a man who confessed to her murder, but he recanted due to his mental illness. And he was later taken off of any suspect list because he had a lot going on up there. I'll say that. So in 2001, Lieutenant Rick Bleckner, he sent clothing and items that were Carol's to the FBI for analysis. And there is one item in particular, a personal item, it has never been released what it is, had a fingerprint on it, but when they tested that fingerprint, there was no match that came up in the fingerprint database. 2008 rolls around. Another detective, George Siebold, started investigating this case, and one name kept popping up and up and up during interviews that he was making with people that knew Carol, that were around the area at the time, and this one name kept popping up. This name was also associated with violent acts that happened in the area, but unfortunately, yet again, there was no link to link this person to Carol's case. And that identity has never been revealed. So, flash forward to 2017, which this one is really cool. I really admire this guy. So a senior at Illinois State University, his name is James Doty. He is working on an assignment for his class. And he chose this case for his assignment. And after he completed the assignment, he couldn't get this case out of his head. So he kept working on it. Eventually, he got in touch with somebody that knew Carol. And a conversation that he had with this person was very odd. And it made him feel very uncomfortable. And he would eventually just take all of his findings and turn them over to the police. But unfortunately, here we are in 2021. This case still remains unsolved, and hopefully this case will become solved. That way we know who killed her definitively, and we know that the history, like, involving the Delta Zeta house, which, by the way, where Carol was found is not where the Delta Zeta house is anymore. They bulldozed that house and they rebuilt it in another area. But this case still haunts the Illinois State University campus till this day due to, I mean, she was possibly beaten with a railroad tie outside of her house. Like, it's pretty savage. So that, my friends, is the case of Carol Rofstad. It's a very heartbreaking case, and it's actually one that I found via Facebook again. I've been finding a lot of unsolved cases on Facebook because of the different groups I'm involved in. So I want to thank you guys over, if you're coming from Facebook, coming to watch my channel. Thank you for just listing all of these unsolved cases that not a lot of people know about, and people should know about them because we have our, like, overly exposed cases like Bundy and Dahmer. And yes, I covered the Cleveland Torso murder and the Black Dahlia murder, but those are related to each other, and police failed to link them. I don't know why, but there's a lot of smaller cases that should be given light and justice should be served. So with that being said, don't forget to comment down below if there's any case that you want me to cover in a future video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Flying low under